Nature has a strange way of luring us in. It promises beauty, serenity, and adventure. But sometimes the wilderness harbors secrets we are never meant to uncover. For some hikers, a simple walk through the woods turns into a nightmare they'll never forget. Today we dive into 3 true hiking horror stories that will make you think twice before you step onto that trail again. In 2016, Katie and Ben, a couple in their mid-20s, were avid hikers. They loved to document their trips, sharing photos and stories with friends and family. In August of that year, they decided to embark on a hiking adventure in the remote wilderness of Wyoming's Shoshone National Forest. It would be a 5-day trip across rugged terrain, a true escape from the bustle of daily life. But what was supposed to be a peaceful getaway quickly turned into something far more sinister. On the 3rd day of their hike, something unusual happened. Ben's daily check-in text to his sister stopped, and no one heard from the couple again. When Katie and Ben failed to return home, a massive search effort was launched. Rescuers found their car still parked at the trailhead, but days of combing the area yielded nothing. No signs of struggle, no trail to follow, just an empty campsite with all their belongings intact. Even their backpacks were still there. Authorities were baffled. There was no evidence of foul play, no tracks leading away from the site, and no wildlife disturbances. It was as if Katie and Ben had simply vanished into thin air. Weeks passed, and despite the intense search efforts, not a trace of the couple was ever found. What happened to them remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in Wyoming's wilderness. Some believe the couple may have fallen victim to the treacherous terrain or wild animals. Others speculate about something more supernatural, claiming the Shoshone Forest has long been haunted by strange, malevolent forces. But the truth, that remains hidden in the woods. Story 2. In 2012, a lone hiker named Mark had been exploring the vast and eerie wilderness of Oregon's Mount Hood. He was an experienced outdoorsman and had spent countless weekends camping and hiking in remote areas. On this particular trip, he ventured into a less traveled area known for its dense forests and hidden caves. Mark had heard rumors about a series of caves that the local indigenous tribes had long considered taboo, a place where, according to legend, the spirits of the forest roamed. But Mark wasn't one for superstitions. He was drawn to the idea of exploring these mysterious caves, so one morning he set out to find them. After several hours of hiking, Mark found the entrance to a cave nearly hidden by overgrown trees and moss. As he descended into the darkness, something felt off. The air was thick, almost oppressive, and a cold breeze swept through the cave despite it being a warm summer day. But Mark pressed on. Deep inside, Mark found strange carvings etched into the stone walls, symbols and patterns that he couldn't recognize. His unease grew as he explored deeper until he heard something, a faint, whispering voice echoing through the cave. At first he thought it was the wind, but as he stood still, the voice grew louder. It was a language he didn't understand, but the tone was unmistakable. It was angry. Panicking, Mark scrambled back toward the entrance, but the cave seemed to twist and shift, almost as if it was trying to trap him inside. The voices grew louder, more insistent, until Mark could feel a presence behind him. He didn't look back. He didn't dare to. Mark made it out alive, but he was never the same. To this day, he refuses to speak about what happened inside the cave. He only says that he felt something was watching him, something that didn't want him to leave. No one has ever been able to locate the cave since. Was it simply a trick of the mind, or did Mark disturb something far older and darker than he could comprehend? Whatever the case, he never went hiking alone again. Story 3. The Phantom Hitchhiker. In 2004, Alex, an experienced backpacker, set off on a solo hike through the Appalachian Trail. It was a journey he had been planning for years, and he was eager to spend weeks in the wilderness, disconnecting from the world. Everything had been going smoothly. until one night when Alex had an encounter that would haunt him forever. One evening, as Alex was nearing the end of a long day's hike, he noticed a figure standing by the side of the trail. It was an older man, dressed in tattered clothes with a heavy backpack slung over his shoulder. The man waved Alex down and asked if he could walk with him for a while. At first, Alex didn't think much of it. Hikers often cross paths and walk together, but there was something unsettling about this man. His pace was slow, his breathing labored, and he rarely spoke. When Alex asked him where he was headed, the man only muttered something about needing to get back home. As night fell, Alex set up camp and invited the stranger to stay for dinner, but the man declined, saying he had to keep moving. Alex watched as the man slowly walked away into the night, disappearing into the trees. But the next morning, as Alex continued down the trail, he was shocked to see the same man again, this time standing at the same spot where they had met the night before. Alex stopped in his tracks. He asked the man if he had gotten lost, but the stranger only stared at him blankly before repeating his cryptic words from the night before, "I need to get back home." Feeling deeply unnerved, Alex picked up his pace, trying to shake the eerie feeling that had settled over him. But for the next 3 days, no matter how far he hiked, he kept seeing the man at random points along the trail, sometimes far ahead, sometimes just around a corner, always watching, never speaking. When Alex finally reached the nearest town, he mentioned the man to a local store owner. The owner's face went pale. He explained that years ago, a hiker matching that description had died in those woods. People said his ghost still wandered the trail, looking for a way home. Was it really a phantom Alex had encountered, or was it just a lost soul forever wandering the Appalachian Trail? The wilderness holds more than just beauty. It holds mysteries, terrors, and the unknown. Whether it's something lurking in the shadows or a presence we can't explain, these stories remind us that when we step into the wild, we may not be alone. What do you think? Are these stories mere coincidences, or is there something truly sinister lurking in the woods? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay curious, and remember, always trust your instincts when you're out in the wild. Until next time, happy hiking, and be careful what you find on the trail.